Hi guys, it's Miss Leslie, and I am coming to you with a video with the 5 problems that I sent you guys through Odyssey Ware on yesterday. And I told you guys that I wanted to do 5 problems with you because these are the kinds of problems that are always on EOGs. They're the dreaded word problems, okay? So in this particular lesson, what we were supposed to do was find the volume of a sphere, a cone, and a cylinder. So guys, here are your 3 formulas that right here for volume of each one of these 3-dimensional figures. Guys, remember that a sphere is just a round ball. So we have to multiply 4/3 times pi and radius cubed. The reason that the radius is cubed is because any side of a circle or any side of a sphere can be its base. It can be its bottom. So that's why we have to raise the radius to the 3rd power. Okay? For a cone, the volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. Guys, remember that the reason that we have to multiply our answer by 1/3 is because a cone comes to a point. It has a vertex. And then the last formula is volume of a cylinder. A cylinder is just like any other can. So it was volume equals pi r squared h. So guys, what we're going to do is look at each one of these problems and see what the volume was and what formula we were supposed to use and why. So guys, your problems look like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate into each formula and figure out what was the correct answer. Number 1 said a spherical ball had a diameter of 6 millimeters and can bounce 10 feet high. What is the volume of that ball? Did you guys find that the volume for this ball would be 36 pi millimeters cubed? Because that's the correct answer. The formula for volume of a sphere is V equals 4/3 pi r cubed. So what we had to do was evaluate in what we knew. We knew that the diameter was 6 millimeters. And it says it can bounce 10 feet high. Did that have anything to do with our formula? No, not at all. Guys, when I look for D in the formula, I don't see D at all. But please remember, guys, that if the diameter is 6, the radius is half of that. So what's half of 6? 3. So let's evaluate in what we know. We don't know V. We know 4/3, we know pi, and now we know the radius, which is 3, and we're going to take 3 and raise it to the 3rd power. So it's V equals 4/3 times pi times 27. Okay? Then V equals 27 times 4 would be 68. No, I'm sorry. 108. And then it'll be 108 divided by 3, which would be 36. You'll keep pi. Remember, guys, you always use your unit of measurement, which would be millimeters. And your answer is always raised to the 3rd power. So for number 1, it should have been 36 pi millimeters cubed. Then number 2 says a can of Coke has a radius of 3 inches and a height of 8 inches. How much soda can the can hold? Our formula for volume of a can is the same as volume of a cylinder, which is V pi r squared h. Okay? Did you guys get 72 pi inches cubed? Because that was the answer. Let's evaluate in what we know. It says the radius is 3 and it has a height of 8. Okay? So I don't know V yet. V equals pi, which we know. The radius this time was 3. So times 3 raised to the 2nd power times h, and the height is 8. So it's V equals pi times 3 times 3. Not 6, but 9 times 8, which is 72 pi. And then our unit of measurement was inches cubed, because whenever we find volume, we always raise our answer to the 3rd power, 72 pi inches cubed. For number 3, it says a chocolate ice cream cone with sprinkles has a height of 2 inches and a radius of 9 inches. Find the amount of ice cream it can hold in cubic inches. So for number 3, this ice cream cone is in the shape of a cone. Volume of a cone is V equals 1/3 pi r squared h. What did you guys find? Did you find 54 pi inches cubed? because that's the answer. Let's fill in what we know. It says that the ice cream cone has a height of 2, so h equals 2, and has a radius of 9, so r equals 9. Let's fill in what we know. V, looking for. 1/3, we know what that is. Pi, we know what that is. Radius this time was 9, so times 9. And the radius is raised to the second power. Then times the height, which is 2. So V equals 1/3 times pi. What's 9 squared? 9 times 9 is 81 times 2. And then 81 squared is, 81 times 2 is how many? 162? Is that right? Then times 1/3 times pi. Okay, when you find 1/3, what you need to do is take 162 and multiply it by 1, and you'll get 162 over 3. And when you divide 162 over 3, you'll get 54. So V equals 54 pi, and unit of measurement was inches cubed. Okay? Number 4, guys, I like number 4. I made number 4 up because number 4 is one of those problems where they go and try to trick you. But guys, because they give you some information that you really need, but you're not looking for the volume this time. What is the problem telling you you're looking for? The height. It says a Pringles container has a volume of 226 and 800 cubic inches. If it has a radius of 6, what is its height? Use 3.14 for pi, and I'm sure, guys, that's not the first time that you've heard that. So this time we were actually looking for not V, but H in our formula. To find the volume of a cylinder, we use the formula V equals pi r squared h. Let's talk about the information we know. It says it has a volume of 226 and 800 cubic inches. So I actually know V. V is 226.08. And then it says use 3.14 for pi. So where I see pi, what am I going to put in? 3.14. And then it says it has a radius of 6. So they actually gave us 3 pieces of information that are very important. Let's evaluate into our formula. Where I see V, I'm going to put in 226.08. Then equals. What do they ask us to put in for pi? 3.14. What is the radius? It's 6. And then we're supposed to take 6 and raise it to the second power. And then, do we know the height? No. It even asks us in the problem, what is the height? So we know that we don't know the height. Okay? So let's multiply. On this side of the equal to sign, you can't multiply anything. But on this side, 3.14 times 6 squared would give you 113.04 times h. Now, guys, if we were writing this like an equation, I would flip this around, and I would make sure that I have a coefficient of 113 and 400ths h. So I'm going to write that like that. 113.04h equals 226.08. This is a one-step multiplication equation. In order for us to find out what the height is, you do the inverse or the opposite by dividing both sides by the coefficient. And then these will cancel out. And then, guys, if you use your handy-dandy calculator and you divide 226.08 by 113.04, you'll get 2. So, guys, the height of the can was actually 2 inches. Okay? One more. That was number 5. See how number 5 reads. Number 5 says, a traffic cone has a diameter of 18 inches and a height of 8 inches. Find its volume. Okay? Volume for a cone is V equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Remember, guys, we're going to multiply by 1/3 because a cone comes to a point, comes to a vertex. Let's plug in what we know. It says it has a diameter of 18 inches, so I know that D equals 18, and it has a height of 8 inches. When I look in the formula, do you see a D? I don't. So that means we need to find the radius. If the diameter is 18 and the radius is half of that, what's half of 18? It's 9. Okay. Oh, by the way, guys, what did you get? Because I got, what, 206 pi inches cubed? Let's fill in what we know. V equals 1/3 times pi times the radius, which we found was 9, squared, times the height, which is 8. What we need to do is multiply these things together. V equals 9 times 9 squared, which is 81. And then 81 times 8 is 80 and then 64, 648. So it's 1/3 times 648 times pi. Okay? Guys, how do you take 1/3 of 648? Well, if you multiply straight across, 1 times 648 is 648. And then you're supposed to divide by 3, and you still have pi. When you divide 648 by 3, you get 206. Don't forget your pi. We use the measurement of inches, and it is raised to the 3rd power. Guys, I hope that these questions kind of helped you out a little bit. I know that volume is something that you have to do in both 7th and 8th grade, so I wanted to make sure that I exposed you to all kinds of questions that had to deal with volume. If you have any questions, as always, guys, make sure that you inbox me. Okay, make sure you turn in those assignments by 6 o'clock tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.